Okay, the humidity is so bad today, I'm having to fight the lens fogging up, so I'm going to try to make this really quick. I picked this tabletop up for $100. As you can see, it is heavy and it is very thick. Now I already took the wooden legs off of it because I didn't need anything to make it any heavier. So y'all have seen in the past where I bought butcher block tops that are really expensive. So when I came across this for $100, I think it's a really good deal. Now my idea for it as of now is to cut it in half and then make a bar. So the bar where you stand at to make drinks will be flat, and then the bar on the side where people stand will have a curve to it. Has a possibility to turn out really cool, but it also has a possibility to be a dud, not sell. We're rolling the dice a little bit, but I think it'll be a fun build, so let's see what we can do. I'm not gonna film cutting in half just because I'm fighting the lens fogging up. I'm sure everybody knows how to so. It is hot. I mean, hot. The app only shows 98, but feels like 114. And they ain't lying. It feels like it's 120. Time to sweat off some water weight. I've really been enjoying using this super clean degreaser to clean all this metal stuff. I'm sure if y'all see in my first welding video, I set a rag on fire because I used paint thinner to clean the metal and then had it sitting on a table, and it just took one little arc and it went up in flames. I don't have to worry about that with this. There you go. So that's kind of the basic shape we're going to end up with. I am going to see if I can take these leftover pieces and add them here to kind of extend that bar around a little bit. I've been wanting one of these for a while now. I've seen it used on one of the barndominium building channels, and this thing is freaking awesome. Now, of course, y'all have seen me use this Craig tool for years. I love the Craig tool. It's held up great. This has been a good tool. I'm just going to show you some of the benefits that made me want a armor tool over a Craig tool. This thing comes with a dust extractor connector. Now, one of the options that made me want one of these is this adjuster for your drill bit. If you dealt with a pocket hole before, you know sometimes figuring out the depth that you need to set it up can be kind of a pain. You just loosen it up here, set your depth of your board in here, squeeze it down, and this thing is going to automatically pull in to the perfect adjustment for your drill bit. How cool is that? And it's got a little place to hold the Allen. Check that out. Now, besides for having the adjustable setup for the drill bit, if you've ever used a Craig tool, you've played this game where you're trying to set it up, you have to adjust it out to where it's just the right tension, and then you have to go through and tighten up the nut that holds it in place. Then you can use it. At the same time, you're also doing this, trying to figure out what depth it needs to be set at. Pulling this up and down, trying to set it up, and then figure out what depth your drill bit needs to go down. Now with the armor tool, stick it in there, set. Done. It even set the height for you. It put tension down on it, no adjustments, and it set up where your drill bit depth needs to be. And it even has this little chart on the side that's color-coded. So whatever thickness board you're using shows you which color of their screws to use with it. How freaking cool is that? Now let me be very clear. They did not pay me to show this to y'all or to advertise for them. This is something I've been wanting for a while. I think it's a super cool tool. I think it's going to speed up the process and take a lot of the headache out of it. Like I said, Craig tool is not a bad tool. This just has a lot of upgraded features that this one does not. Like I said, the tool has a color chart on the side for the thickness of boards you're using to what color screw you use. You can get this from Armor Tools, and it even includes a new long bit. Pretty cool, huh? Now normally my stain and top coat would be the very last thing I do on a piece, but with the way I have to assemble this piece, there's going to be a lot of spots I'm not going to be able to get to, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some on now. But later I'll come back through, stain the bottoms, do any touch-ups I need to, and probably put a second coat of poly on. The owners of this property are actually about to start building a new home in this location. They got some kind of crazy high price to have this little building torn down. And I, of course, volunteered myself to go out there and tear it down if they'd let me keep whatever I wanted off of it. Now, some of y'all may think that I'm crazy, but here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, this rustic corrugated metal goes for about $50 a sheet, and reclaimed lumber starts at about $6 a foot and goes up. You would think with all the country land that we have around here that this stuff would be easy to find, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know the value and they just burn it or throw it away. But the rustic industrial look is really popular here, so it makes it really difficult to find this stuff and makes it really high priced when you do find it. Now, the people that own that property said it's about a 120-year-old barn. So, stuff's still holding up pretty good. All right, I'm gonna do something a little bit different with the wheels. As you can see, it wobbles with them like that. I think it'd be fine if it was steel wheels. I'm thinking the wobble's in the rubber. So I'm gonna try to reposition them, see if it gets any better. If it doesn't, we'll figure out something else. Start there and see. Since the bar is so narrow and so tall, I decided to go ahead and build little pedestals that'll allow me to cheat the wheels out about 2 inches further than I could if I just mounted them underneath. I'll just add a little bit of metal trim to the outside to make it all fit together. So I have an idea that I want to try to add some decorative stuff to this bar. Don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to attempt it. I'm going to use my X-Tool laser to cut out some shapes onto some 1/4-inch plywood. And then I'm going to transfer those shapes over to a piece of metal and try to use as a template that I can guide my plasma cutter around and hopefully cut out the same shape. So we'll see. All right, this is kind of my idea. I'll weld that in right there. It'll be kind of neat, add a little bit of character to it. I think it'll be cool. You gonna help me work? All right, guys, I really hate to take this and just throw it in the bottom of my toolbox when I know one of y'all out there could probably really use it or would want it. And of course, if you're a fan of my channel, I already laser engraved the Dean Furniture Artist logo in there. I also signed it and clear coated over it so it shouldn't wipe off. And I'll be including 2 bits with it. So I don't know if anybody would be interested, but I'm going to have it up on my Etsy account. If you are, go check it out. See you on the next flip.